got some college football news. Texas and Oklahoma decide that they want to test the waters and see if they can join the SEC and leave the Big 12. This would ultimately cripple the Big 12 because then what competitive teams are going to be in there? Ohio State, Penn State hasn't been the same, Michigan hasn't been the same, Wisconsin hasn't been the same, because ultimately when these teams line up and play the likes of Alabama and LSU, they ultimately get crushed. Oklahoma has made the college football playoff 4 times. They're 0-4. When you look at the last time a Big 12 team won the college football championship, it was in 2014 when Ohio State did it. Before that was when Texas last won their national championship in 2005, and I believe that was as a member of the Big 10, but we'll call it the Big 12 because that's what the conference is called now. Now, will this move ultimately be a good move for Oklahoma or for Texas? Immediately for the on-the-field play, I'm going to say no. Revenue-wise, this is going to be through the roof phenomenal for both of these teams, especially when kids are deciding whether or not to go to Texas A&M or go to Texas, and they go to Texas A&M because they want to play in the SEC because they're on TV more and they're in the college football playoff more, and they get to play Alabama and the great schools, and they get more recognition. Now, if you have Texas in the same boat, especially with the NIL that's coming forward, it's going to be really hard for a player to get swayed to go to Texas A&M instead of going to a school like Oklahoma or Texas. Now, as long as Nick Saban is in Alabama, it's going to be really hard for these teams to compete against him. We see what happened with Oklahoma when they played them in the college football playoff, or when they play even the second squad teams in the SEC. So ultimately, I do believe that these teams and these schools will take a step back because it's going to be competitive, way more competitive than the Big 12 has been for them. Look at the list of the winners of the college football championship behind me. Clemson, Alabama, LSU. Yes, I understand that Clemson's in the ACC and Ohio State's in the Big 12, but looking at this list, and here's like the full list behind me, you see a ton of SEC teams, and there's a reason for that. Most of the kids come out of, high school in Florida, but the SEC is recruiting California, Texas, and Florida incredibly well. This would be great for the school's brand. It would absolutely cripple the Big 12. I don't know if it's going to be great for college football. I know it's going to be great to watch because we'll have more meaningful games, but I don't know what happens. We'll probably have...
Baby, I like it raw.